Hey folks, Wes here. Today I'm going to go over some of the changes in Spark 0.7.0. As usual, with most releases, to use these new features, you'll need to uninstall and then reinstall the Spark CLI tool, and then also run the Spark update command to update your templates. So any future projects you create with Spark will have these new changes. As far as existing projects, you can update the Spark library NuGet, and then there will be a couple manual changes you need to do, which we will cover in here. But let's get started. All right, so let's create a new Spark project, and just call it Spark 70 changes, and we will do the Blazor project type, and we'll leave the rest of the settings as is. So let's run that and then go into our project and open it in Visual Studio. Alright, so let's cover the app setting changes real quick. There is some new app settings for authentication. The login path, logout path can be set. So Spark will set whatever route URLs are here. So when you navigate, or if you try to access an authorized page, you'll get redirected to the login path. And then the access denied path, it doesn't have any effect in Blazor. But if you're using the MVC or Razor templates in your project, and you try to access, if you're logged in and then try to access, let's say, a page that requires admin roles and your user account does not have the admin role, you'll get redirected to this access denied page. And yeah, all three of these routes come out of the box with Spark, so it's not like you have to create them. This just allows you to alter the route URLs if you wish. Just remember, you'll have to also update the route, whether if it's a Blazor page, you'll have to update your app page attribute at the top to match that, so they're in sync. The next change as far as Blazor is some authentication changes. So I changed the authentication state provider. Some settings have changed. The first is the revalidation interval. So this service here is used by Blazor. Since Blazor server uses the Signal R connections, sometimes you need to revalidate behind the scenes that the user is actually logged in, especially if you have two tabs open and one tab you log out. The other tab won't actually log out. So every 2 minutes, authentication will be rechecked and prove that you're actually authenticated. So if you log out in one tab, your other tab will be logged out within the next 2 minutes, and you'll be sent back to the login page. We also have a new service called Auth Validator. This applies to all project templates. This is the validation that's ran whenever you use the authorize attribute, whether it's in Blazor or MVC or Razor pages, as well as authorized views. So let's just check out, just to give you an example, if we head over to our dashboard, if we head over to our admin dashboard, if you have any of these authorized views here, I believe it's also in our nav menu to show your login or log out based on whether you're authorized. Anytime you use this or the authorized attribute, this code will be ran here. Now, this used to be called the iCookie service. Changed it to the Auth Validator. And so if you ever wanted to use a different authentication besides the cookie authentication, you would need to update the code in here. And this gives you the ability to do that. Another new service is the auth service. This is where any code related to authentication outside of the auth validation is located. So this is where we set up our cookie claims when someone logs in. We also added some more properties that get added to your claims based on the user record from the database. So you can access email, name, and ID. Also added this get authenticated user method. This can be used anywhere in your application to pull the logged in user's database data. So if you head over to like the main layout of your Blazor app, you'll notice we have this auth state. And then if the person, based on the auth state, is authenticated, we'll pull the authenticated user's data and save it to this user. And then from here, because we're using cascading values in this main layout, we can actually access this user property from any Blazor component, any child Blazor component. So that kind of saves you from running this query again, since you can just access it from any other component. To access it, let me see if I can find an example. Nav menu might have it. Nope. Let's see. Dashboard? Yeah, dashboard. So you see here we just pass in the cascading parameter of layout, and then on that layout we can get the user. And then if we wanted to, we could say, @user.name. Welcome. And like I said, any child component of the main layout, which is pretty much everything, you can pull in these cascading parameters. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make my migrations and then run this app so we can kind of show off the big change here, which is the profile edit page. All right, let's fire it up. All right, I'm gonna create a user real quick. And then, as usual, we have our user dashboard, our home page, our logouts, but now we have a new profile page, and this is a profile edit page where you can update the logged in user's name, email address, and then also update passwords here. This is filled in just because of my LastPass manager, but it's not actually. So what you have to do is enter your current password and then any new passwords as well. And this comes with validation, so if I enter the wrong password, it will tell me the current password is incorrect. If I enter the correct password, but my new and confirmed passwords don't match, it'll let me know, etc. And then same with profile info. If you update the profile info, hit save, everything is updated in our nav. Our user model is reloaded. And then the email address also has validation to make sure you're not trying to save a new email address that belongs to another account. So yeah, pretty big change. And that is in effect with all of the other project templates as well, MVC and Razor. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop that, and we will create one more Spark project. All right, then finally I'm gonna show you some of the MVC and Razor pages changes. So let's go ahead and just create a new app, and then we need to set the type as MVC. We'll go into that, open it with Visual Studio. All right, so you'll see here we have the profile edit page just as we did with Blazor, so works the exact same way. Some new pages we have are these error pages. So we have an access denied page, and this is anytime a logged in user, as I explained earlier, a logged in user is trying to access a page where they don't have sufficient roles. We have a generic error page, for unhandled exceptions, and then we have a page not found. So this is if someone is trying to go to a page that doesn't actually exist. This doesn't work out of the box. So like ESP.NET doesn't have a way out of the box to set a 404 or page not found page. So what we did is added this new page not found middleware, and this is located in our application middleware folder. And this checks if the status code is 404 and redirects to the page not found route. And then if we go to our controllers, error controller, we have our page not found route pointing to our page not found view. Same with access denied. And kind of as I said earlier, you can update that access denied route in your app settings config. So let's go ahead and start the app, and we can show these off real quick. Alright, so if I just go to a random route, we'll get the there's nothing at this address, which is the page not found view. And then also if I log in, register a new user, and then I try to go to the admin dashboard, which you need the admin role to, it'll say, sorry, you do not have access to this page. Alright, that's a quick rundown of the changes in Spark 0.7.0. Hope you enjoy it. Peace.